think they're, Javier, thank you. Yeah, right, I don't know. Good morning, everybody. So just as a friendly reminder, I was asked to remind you to silence your cell phones. So.
Thank you.
I do that. We went to go see Superman this last weekend with my children, and I have 3 teenage college-age boys, and I looked at all 3 of them and I said, turn off your phones. Put them in your pocket, turn it away. I just spent $100 on a movie for you to watch and not look at your cell phone. Put it away. So, the 17-year-old groaned and gave me the look, but begrudgingly put the phone away. So. Good morning, everybody. Jim is at conference this week, traveling. He is scheduled to be back tomorrow, but he did not want to hold up us having our meeting because next week, I believe you have another meeting scheduled that he will be an active part of. So today, we're just going to go through our department updates like we normally do, and we will have time for questions in between. I'm not, I think, as long-winded as my fearless leader, so this may go faster. Yes, ma'am. I think it's Stephanie may be able to, we don't know. I think
the update on the project.
It's the update on the project.
What project?
Our beautiful clock tower. It's going to be announced once we finalize the details. It'll be announced in Blackboard, and we're going to talk about that today so that everybody's aware. It's going to be probably next Wednesday or Thursday, depending on people's travel arrangements, so that we can give you a comprehensive update on all of the projects. I don't know the definitive, but as soon as I do, we will send those out in our weekly door hanger or bi-weekly. We'll put it out on Blackboard, and we'll make sure we post it everywhere. So we're going to get started. Does anyone not know me? So I'm Missy, or Melissa if I'm in trouble. Usually only my mother uses that, and then Renee comes in. I'm 47 years old with 4 children. She still says, I'm still your mother. So I go by Missy. I am the health center administrator. Yay! And I spend most of my time over at the Oaks, but if you need me, please know that I'm always available for all of our residents. And we are going to get started with Stephanie, sales and marketing.
Good morning, everyone. So normally I have closings for whatever month we're in, and I tell you who and where and what and why, the whole 9 yards. This says 3 closings for July because we're not sure who's going where yet. So you all know we've kind of done some initiatives with villas, anybody who wanted to downsize from their villa. We've got 3, so we're working with 3 people that want villas, but financing has become more and more of a struggle to obtain quickly. So they're actually going to smaller apartments on paper to secure their space until they can secure financing for bigger entrance fees. So full disclosure, that's where we are with the month of July. And then our current occupancy, if you notice from the last time I was up here, has sunk a little bit because attrition is a real thing. So we're at 82.82% as of today. We are still obviously focused on building occupancy. 90% is our target. And we have, just for your reference, the last 30 days alone, we've completed 42 tours as a team. Thank you. I tell you that to tell you that that builds a pipeline. So not all 42 of those tours are ready to move right now, right? But that kind of gives us some leverage for the rest of the year. How can we get them back in for repeat tours and then sell them? So the reason I share this on this slide is because if we're focused on 90% occupancy by the end of the year, how are we going to get there? Well, you need to know a little bit about what we're doing. I know you see us touring people, but 42 tours in 30 days is significant. So I just wanted to share that. Next. So some of our events coming up this Saturday, we have Joe Burt coming for Certified Financial Group. His live radio show is being recorded here at 9 a.m. And then at 10 a.m. they do a financial workshop. That always brings a lot of people. We have 80 people coming on Saturday. And then, that's wrong, that's 80 now. And then we're gonna have lunch. We have actually 4 tours already scheduled for that day, so people are coming with interest in seeing Village on the Green as well. So this is mutually beneficial. August 12th, I'm doing a presentation on whether you should decide to rent or own your future, which is not to slam rental communities, but if you're in a rental community, you're a little more transient and you don't have the security that you have in a life care community. So we're just pointing out the obvious differences in both of those. August 28th, we're doing a resident panel and a tour of homes. October 1st, I'm excited to say, we have our Senior Chef Showdown. So what that means is the executive chefs from a few competitive communities in the area get together to compete against whose meal is best. Last year, because we didn't have all the details, we came in second place, next to Legacy Point, which broke my heart. So this year we're gonna come in first place, and I'm excited about that. There'll be some resident tickets, so if you wanna be involved in that, let me know and we'll get you a ticket, because your vote will help us. If you wanna have we're asking a lot of you to take some time to have lunch or a dinner, maybe a chef's table dinner with a prospect, and we comp those meals for you. So we want you to know that we very much appreciate when you take your time, because your points are valuable and you budget them. If you're gonna have a guest in for a meal that could be a prospect, let us know in advance and we can make some arrangements there. This is just a friendly request. If there's an apartment or a villa that's under construction, please don't enter that without somebody accompanying you, because it's a safety issue. If it's under construction, there's tolls everywhere, there's contractors, it's just not safe. And so a lot of us we have curiosity about what's going on, and we can show you, but just let us know if you wanna kind of take a tour of that space. And we are still looking for an outreach coordinator. I've done a couple of interviews, but that position is so unique and so specific, I'm just waiting for the right person. So if you know anybody who might be interested, let me know. Thank you very much.
Any questions? All right, moving on to culinary. Liz?
Good morning, everybody. Just a quick recap for our July meal service. For Pamcor, we did 6,211 meals. In the split for those are Sunday breakfast, 344, lunch 1,334, dinner 2,242, takeout and deliveries 1,900, and employee meals about 371. And these are just our highlights of the most sold items that usually are like our Pamcor signatures. So those are the items that have sold the most in our Pamcor dining room. For here in Club, 808 meals, 215 of those are breakfast, so that keeps climbing up. And then for dinner, 603. These are the items that it has sold the most for the month of June. A couple of updates. Something that we heard from the residents' feedback has been the wines at the bar. We introduced a house wine for 4 points. You have different varieties. I know that one of the feedbacks that we got, it was the prices of the wine, so we just introduced something more affordable. We are starting a bi-weekly menu format. In the past, we have done seasonal menus, meaning that we have 4 weeks of menus that it will repeat for about 3 to 4 months. The new format that we have is just doing it every 2 weeks, but the menu will not repeat as often. But we've been getting some feedback from residents, so we're gonna reevaluate this with the culinary committee. Aside of that, something that we added that is being very successful is the chef's catch. So now we have the option of having an additional fish, more than salmon on the menu for 12 to 15 points, and we're able to offer 2 to 3 different fish throughout the week. And we got the large breast basket in the dining room. That is something that the residents, the bread, it was not covered and it was not warm when you get to your table, so we got those lined up for you. Next slide. So just a few highlights, just a couple of pictures of all the things that we do in our kitchen. This is chef doing one of the chef tables. Next one. These are lobster and lamb chops that we did in another chef table. Next one. And if you ever have a housewarming, or if you want any event just like catered to your home, we also be able to do that. We did a couple of events in June, and we did one recently. So if you need anything from us, we'll also be able to cater to your homes as well.
All right, thank you. Yes, as we start getting closer to the holidays, make your reservation for that catering service in your apartment so you don't have to do all the cooking and cleaning for the holidays that are coming up. So next we have Environmental Services and Plant Update with Lenny.
Okay, we're still continuing on with the patios above the lounges. Everybody in the buildings realized that. We ran into a couple issues and they're taking care of that. Also with A lounge, we have a problem with the bottom lounge in the bottom patio. We're gonna be continuing with that. Obviously, this is weather permitting. We got 85% chance of rain just about every day, so we've been slowing things down. Same thing with the roofs in the IL buildings. We're still waiting on confirmation of when we're gonna start that. That is going to happen, but we're just waiting on confirmation. Construction of the Porte Cochere is continuing. You've probably seen they got the cement truck out there today, so you're seeing some progress with that, pouring the slab in the curb. So within the next week or two, you'll see a big change in the front for the Porte Cochere. Service yard, same thing that's happening. They're gonna be digging up the service yard asphalt starting next week sometime. And so we're gonna have to control, that's where we're gonna have a lot of traffic coming in and out here with the trucks, because they're not gonna be able to come in there. So we're gonna have to park the delivery trucks going out towards the Oaks. So we'll have a security and a transportation there to direct everybody around that, because we're gonna not be able to get into the service yard, obviously. So they're gonna have to park across the street and walk their stuff into the kitchen. Same thing with the dumpster. We're gonna leave the dumpster so that we can coordinate that, so they can get in and out. Building breezeways and lower lounges, we talked about, that ties into the patios. We're gonna be redoing all the breezeways, which is the walkways in the buildings that you see are cracking and you got draining issues, all tied into the same project. Carports, you've probably seen down at A building, we have a couple that are labeled off. The carports are starting to deteriorate, they're showing their age. We're working with an engineer right now to get a solution for that, something that's gonna be temporary to keep it safe, first of all, and then the long-term solution, which will be tied into our IL building roofs. Right now, we're just trying to make it safe, so we don't want anybody parking underneath that area. And it came to my attention that we had some irrigation problems, which we knew about, but I had a Villa meeting, I believe, yesterday, and me and Dino and another company are gonna come in and we're gonna do a full evaluation of all the irrigation lines throughout the community to make sure that we're getting the correct coverage from irrigation. Our pumps, our timers, everything is working. If we have to fix anything, we're gonna take care of that and get that, because I've had a couple complaints, specifically Green Trail, where the irrigation seems to be off and on and behind some of the villas. So we're gonna do a full evaluation on irrigation lines and make sure we're getting proper coverage.
Does that relate to the big splashing water that came out of the pipes between building A and B?
No, that was the main line. That was a break in the main line. They took care of that already. This is strictly just irrigation for the lawns. As a village on the green, we want to stay green. And, okay? That's it.
Yes, ma'am. Lynn, I just want to say thank you for donating for our new sign in our courtyard. And also the sign for Miami. Thank you for that.
And we have the ice makers in all the lounges except for B's. That one came broken. We got to replace that one. So good news and bad news.
All the aesthetic is working.
Correct. All the ice makers in the lounges except for B.
Except for me, okay.
Mrs. Abbas.
Yeah, Lenny, does it apply to everyone, that they have to pay for any help in their garden?
So if you have a specific garden that is not part of our standard Village on the Green outside service and you need help from Dino, yes, it would be a charge for Dino to come in and do anything that is outside our standard. And if, for instance, if you live in a villa and you have a garden or some specific flowers and bedding that you wanted to do for yourself and you need help from Dino, that would be a charge.
Does that mean that we can't get trimming done by the landscaping people? Because I talked to them and told them about what I'm not getting done, and they say it's.
Are they saying it's not in their scope of work?
Well, they say to tell you, which we have told you.
All right, so Dino's back from vacation today, so Dino will come down and take a look at he'll determine what is specific to the scope of work that is outside of Village on the Green standard. If it is something that not in the standard of scope of work, which would be when you move into a villa, we put our normal plants and operations out there. Anything that you would like outside of that would be a charge. That's an extra charge.
Well, I've done it myself so far,
Mhm.
and I've been beautifying Village on the Green. And it's, if you move in and you see a nice garden, you're more likely to like this property. And I think it's very,
We will,
unfortunate
we will
that
serve.
Village on the Green cannot see that.
No, I think we absolutely see it, but we have to make sure, so have Dino and Lenny will come down and look at it. So if it's our trees and plants and bushes, we certainly wanna be a partner with you, cause you're right? It makes it look more home-like, more warm and inviting, but Dino's only one person, and so to get those additional resources for the stuff that we haven't necessarily planned and budgeted for, we need to find a partnership.
Yeah, and let me be clear.
Dino has been wonderful. I never asked him to do anything.
Yes, ma'am.
If I could do it myself,
I know.
I would do it.
Yes.
And I only asked him when I was very sick.
Yes, ma'am.
And what I came back with was, if you want something doing, you have to get someone from outside.
Oh, we'll have it.
They gave me a number to call, and I called $600 minimum for coming.
So-
Okay,
that
this
is very
is
unfortunate.
something that we spoke about already. Dino's back from vacation.
Yeah.
I told you he's back from vacation. When he comes down, he's gonna go down there and evaluate what your issue is or what the solution is from there.
Yeah.
I wanna be specific. Just because Dino shows up does not mean it's going to be a charge. It's gonna be evaluated on a basis of what you need. It doesn't mean that he's gonna charge you down there. He's just gonna come down there and take a look at it and see what it is. Doesn't mean it's gonna be a charge every time.
Message that I got from Jim.
Sure, well, I certainly apologize, and I'll get that clarified with Jim, but first steps, let's just have Dino and Lenny go down and see what it is. If we're tilling a new garden, and I'm just being facetious, I apologize. If we're tilling a new garden to plant rows of crops, then obviously that's not gonna be included, right? But to trim a bush or something, we'll certainly look at that. So I'm not saying yes, but I'm not saying no. Let's look at it, and then if I can come with them to look at that as well. Yes, ma'am?
When are we getting more Dinos? He cannot possibly, Wonders cannot possibly tend to this entire thing.
Well, you're right. If DNS, the landscaping company that we hired, did their job more efficiently, it would be okay, but we talked about this in the last town hall. The plan is to get landscaping back in-house, so that we can hire 4, 5, 6 more Dinos and get rid of the DNS. That's my ultimate goal.
But that's a lot of money for all the
Correct. That's the other problem.
Finding that happy balance, yes, ma'am.
When we had our power outage yesterday,
Lucy, do we have a microphone? Lucy left.
I got it.
All right, thank you, Stephanie. Yes, ma'am.
When we had our power outage yesterday, all right, the emergency lights came on in the stairwell and everything else.
Good.
And then about, I would say, close to 8 o'clock, one side of our building, the stairwell lights, emergency lights went off. And this was a stairwell where the lift chair was. It was very dark in there, and I felt very dangerous climbing those stairs. So I did see Tommy and told him, and he said he was checking it. But could we have a double check on all the buildings?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, that's an easy fix. Yes, sir.
Could you give us an update on the construction in the front? It seems to me that it's gone on for possibly over a month, and very little has been done. So I'm just curious, what are our goals, and approximately when will the project be completed?
So I think the weather tends to be an issue and slowing down, especially this time of year, the weather seems to slow down our progress. Lenny mentioned in his presentation that if you go out today, we're starting to pour the concrete. So that's a huge step in moving forward with this progress. So you're gonna start to see the concrete trucks pouring the flat so that we can start to move, because without ground, without the concrete, we can't start building the porte cochere. So we're gonna make a lot of progress with that
pouring the cement out there right now. If you look out there, if you look out the window, you'll see the cement truck.
Is there an ETA date that we're shooting for?
December. But we are on schedule, even though she talked about with the weather and it looks like nothing's getting done. I promise you, if you work in construction, there's a lot getting done. We're doing electrical, plumbing, anything that has steel work. We're working on the service yard, so if the weather stops us from doing something over here, we do something over here. So we're not behind in any means.
So what we could do better is in these meetings, we can kind of maybe be a little more specific on not just the porte cochere, but electrical work was done this last 30 days, plumbing work was done this last 30 days, so that you know where we are in the process.
Speaking of which, that's exactly what's going to happen. So in your Green Horizon coming up, you will see a schedule of what the upcoming week ahead is for these projects. You'll see what they're gonna be doing, so it'll be broken down for you,
Okay, that's good, yay.
just coincidentally.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Lenny, I have a safety-related issue, particularly slip and fall. You've got a cleaner assigned to mop the floors with that machine. He's got a fan, and plus he's got manual tools. And he's doing it anytime between, it seems, 7:15 and 8 o'clock, when people are still coming out from dinner from the dining room. And I, for one, have twice almost gone down because there still is a residual soapy water film left on the floor. It's not fully dried, and people are walking on that. So I think what we need to do is push the floor washing back to about 9 o'clock, when all the game playing people and all the residual people from dinner are gone. And this is in the annex. This is all the tile or the marble flooring that's there. That's really slick when it's wet.
Okay, I'll take a look at that.
Okay. Anybody else? All right, next. Finance, Javier. Thank you, Lenny.
Well, good morning. Lenny's a popular guy. Good morning. For first update, I would like to introduce Rebecca Gorman, Becca, to the team. She is the new Director of Financial Services for Village on the Green. So, bear with her. This is her second week. So she's getting the hang of Village on the Green. She's getting to get to know the residents, the process, everything. So she'll get there. She just got here. How did we perform in June? So our revenue, we fell short by $73,000. We had 3 closings in the month of June on a budget of 5. So what is driven that negative variance? It is the processing fees that we missed on those 2 extra closings. Skilled nursing performed, so they exceeded budget by $107,000 in the month of June. And then as a whole, our operating revenue, we fell short kind of like by $1,000, so we almost broke even. Our expenses, we had a couple of expenses that blew it up, so we have $169,000 over budget in expenses. So our NOM for the month of June, we were below budget by $170,000. So we were a positive. Our revenue against our expenses in the month of June was positive $8,000. So how are we doing for the first 2 quarters of the year? Our revenue, we are exceeding budget by $541,000. Our expenses are below budget by $61,000, giving us a positive net operating margin by $602, exceeding budget. As Stephanie said, we have 3 closings in July, so we're expecting July to keep the trend. Yes, ma'am.
If prices keep going up, how are we going to get more people?
We already addressed that kind of situation. At the same time, we're not the most expensive, nor we are the cheapest one. We were one of the cheapest or lowest rate communities around in Orlando. So just FYI, we're not trying to price ourselves out as well.
That's a great question. So I just want to add a couple of insights. The first thing we did was a comp set. So we looked at all of our competitors in the market, and we found that we were actually below the competitive analysis. The significant price increase came to villas, which are a hot commodity, because why would you buy a Corolla if you know that a Lexus is coming on the lot at the same price, right? So well, I do too, but a Lexus, come on. So we increased the price of villas specifically, and then the 75% return of capital had an increase for better protection for us long term. So there was wisdom in those increases. The other thing that we've done is we've increased our marketing spend so that we can market to the right people. Unfortunately, our marketing areas weren't maybe targeting the right audience. So we're targeting people in this area that have more money than we used to. So those coupled and combined is gonna give us the right people to sell to. You're welcome.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Sure.
Any other questions? We're letting Javi off this easy? Man, all right. Thank you, Javier.
Yes, sir, I knew we had a question for Javier.
Well, it's for the whole crew.
Yes, sir.
Can you give us any update on the installation of the new system for the TV, the Wi-Fi?
We have an update from Sean at the end. Technology we have further down on the slide presentation, so.
All right.
All right.
You're having another game, Wally.
Yeah. All right, human resources, is Angela here?
No.
All right, well then I will roll into human resources. Our team member of the month for July is Manny Lucino. He is a CNA CNA is a certified nursing assistant. So when you are over at the Oaks for therapy or for if you have moved into assisted living or memory care, the team members that are helping you get dressed, bathe, preparing your, giving you your meals, getting you to some of your lifestyle programming, those are the CNAs. So being a CNA is one of the hardest jobs in the building. It's physically demanding, and Manny does it with a flair that if you have not, or if you haven't experienced it, you will never experience anything like it ever again. Manny is just amazing.
Yes.
So Manny exemplifies all the living life space pillars of customer service. He's an exceptional leader and a shining example of what it means to be a team member. He is self-motivated and driven to do what is right for VOTG's residents and the team members, and he's always willing to lend a supportive hand to his fellow team members. I hired Manny 10 years ago, and it was probably one of the best decisions I've ever made in my nursing career. So please, if you see Manny over at the Oaks, he's usually working in the restorative program, dancing during a lifestyle program. He's just amazing. So thank you to Manny for all that he does for Village on the Green and really for our residents. He is one of a kind. New team members this month. Amy Morales, Director of Lifestyles. Is Amy here? No? Okay. All right. Well, we will drag her out of hiding next month to introduce you if you haven't met her yet. Rebecca, over here. Welcome. Super excited to have Rebecca, Director of Financial Services. Dominique Hayes, kitchen attendant. Brianna Smith, certified nursing assistant. And Tatiana Williams, housekeeper. So if you see them, please welcome them to the team. Team member anniversaries. We have Miss David. That's David's name. Today I learned David's name is David Reese. Maintenance tech, 1 year. Cassetta, housekeeper, 1 year. 6 years. Pam Boschel, our director of home health. And today's Pam's birthday. So congratulations. That's why Pam, I think Pam's birthday could be a national holiday in her family because she's off on vacation this week. Jim Horseman, executive director, 8 years. He's been with Lifespace for 8 years. Yes, ma'am. Oh, to Javi, not Missy. If Jim gets that, Javi's been here. Sue Polkjoy, our lovely receptionist at the front desk, 11 years. That's amazing. Linda Radu, she is a assisted living nurse. 17 years, and Sandy Garbatini, our admin assistant, 17 years, and to my wonderful Carolyn Workman, who works 3 to 11 on the skilled nursing side at the Oaks. She has been here 35 years. Carolyn did start working when she was 10, so a huge thank you to all of our team members. Lifestyle update. So Amy's new, and I have to show Amy how to do this, so I apologize. So some of the big things coming up is how are we liking the green horizons more frequently? No? No, no, no. Okay. Well, yes, yes. Okay, it's a hit and miss, hit and miss. Any big, well, I'll send something out on Blackboard, don't tell Jim. All right, skip past lifestyles. Resident engagement, okay. So our resident engagement survey, it's coming up again in September. Yes, I know. Woo, who's excited? We have our team member engagement survey in August and our resident engagement survey in September. And we really want to see those NPS scores. And we are trying, all the leaders up here are really trying to meet and exceed what you're wanting in our community. So, are we gonna go back to resident engagement? Yeah, I'm just gonna remind them. All right, so culinary, we've still, if you don't participate in the culinary committee and you want to have more say, please make sure you're attending those culinary, Liz and her team meet with them on a monthly basis. We have our herb garden. One of the things that we added to our residents over at the Oaks, we also now have an herb and vegetable garden for the Oaks. So Chef Hung is utilizing the same services. One of the things that we're trying to do is whatever services that you experience over at Independent Living, when you move over into the higher levels, to the Oaks, you should experience the same process, the same meal quality, the same lifestyle engagement, so that when you moved here, there's not a significant change. Moving over to the Oaks is hard enough already. We don't want your experience to have a negative impact. So we also have an herb garden. Menus, we're getting a lot of feedback on that. Liz is on it every day, updating and changing those. And our menu development. So now we're doing the 3 to 4 fish choices instead of just salmon, trying to enhance our menu. Next, we have maintenance. How is getting a hold of Sandy, putting in those maintenance requests? That's her number, 407-571-5419. And we implemented the community door that that there's someone working in your apartment or someone's been there. Any questions with that? Yes, ma'am.
Well, Sandy's out sick, and I was wondering who takes over for her.
They're going into Mike's phone.
So her question is, Sandy's been out this week, and so there's no one sitting at the desk who's taking those phone calls. We're able to forward those phone calls directly to Mike. Technology. Sean? Yay, Sean!
Okay, I guess, first of all, I will address the first question someone asked about the new service being delivered here. Where I don't have my normal sidekick Stan, who has more information than I have, but I can tell you a little bit about it. The back-end hardware application, the actual new internet line that comes into Lifestyle, into Village on the Green, we're still working with that. We're going on very well with it. The new equipment's in, and we almost have the circuit up and running. The bad news is the actual service, which is being tested live at, and I don't know the Quincy, is being tested, and it's failing miserably for them. And as Stan is telling everybody, Jim had actually been working with Stan to make this location the test bed, and you guys have been very lucky you haven't been part of the test bed because they are going through all the growing pains. So once all the growing pains are done, it has been tested, completely vetted, and it's working perfect, it will be brought here, and I'm very hopeful it'll be a speedy execution to actually have the new service installed. I cannot give you a timeline. I don't want to give you any hopes that it's going to be next month, 2 months, 3 months, or whatever the time might be. Once that information has been given to us, we'll definitely pass it along to you. That's about all I can give to you about the new service.
What alternatives are there to this, to be able to record and have a proper guide? And if you know of any, are you available to assist us in implementing?
So again, since I have not seen this system fully functional, I don't know what those options are as of yet. Once, are you referring to currently right now? So the only one that I know of right now is gonna be TiVo, and as for cost, I don't know that.
Yes, we can help you, sir.
I believe Mr. Goldstein at one time said the new group will have some type of DVR, TiVo recording system in that. Do not quote me, but I know that when him and the technology, when he, I think, flew out to Texas to see all the different vendors that we were looking at to begin with, that was a hot topic for a lot of our residents wanting to have that recording feature. So I do believe Groove may have that.
There is a recording feature.
It has 100 hours of capability of recording.
No, the new one.
The new Groove.
The current one, you would need a TiVo.
Sean,
Yes.
the question, at least I didn't hear the answer. For those of us that are tired of waiting and we want to get the recording capability now, if we get the TiVo system, are you available to help us install it in
Yes.
the existing system?
Yes.
Okay.
That would be, most of my maintenance techs and Sean can take care of that system. We've implemented it. It's a pretty simple stuff. And we will take care of it.
But will the TiVo work with the new system?
I do not have an answer at that time.
I believe the answer to that is it won't. It will not, that's the issue.
So if you buy a TiVo now,
Correct.
you're gonna waste your money.
Correct. But the idea is we don't want the new system to come into Village on the Green unless we're 100% satisfied that it's working. We don't want to bring another system and to run into the same problems. So taking it a little bit longer is okay with us because we want the system to be actually functioning. We don't want to run into problems. Let them figure out the problems and then they'll dump it on us when it's perfect.
So what Lenny was referring to is some of the delays. The Groove system has been implemented in some of the other LifeSpace communities. And all of the little bugs that they're experiencing at those communities is what's causing our delay of implementation. And so we would rather have them experience all of the challenges instead of us, and then by the time it gets to Village on the Green, it's a really well ironed out process. They come in with the white glove service, set up all of your devices, and we're able to run without any problems, fingers crossed.
Anybody else on that topic, or are we good?
Given that there are other communities are having so many problems.
Given that other communities are having so many problems with Groove, at what point would we decide not to get Groove?
I don't think that's really in part of the cards. I think they're actually partnered up pretty well with these guys, and they're actually there to make sure that we get everything we've asked for. So again, that's not an executive decision that I can actually make, but from my understanding, what's been given to me is that they are working daily with Groove to make sure that this rollout of the rest of the communities will not have the hiccups and the bugs and fixes that are needed right now at the current location they're rolling it out at.
And it's not all negative. There is a lot of positive.
Yeah.
I don't believe that the challenges that we're experiencing are of the Groove product itself, but more of when you're walking into Friendship Village of South Hills, that's an older community with technology, wiring. We've done a lot of that work on the front end, but some of the other communities haven't had that yet. So the product itself, Groove, the channeling, the recording, all of that is so far, we've heard very good things. It's more of community-specific challenges that they're working through, right? Okay. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Do you have a schedule, Sean, from when you will be at the tech bar?
Yes, so that's the next subject. Just want to get through the first one here, and any other questions on the Groove TV?
Nope, moving on.
All right. For the tech bar, if you guys have not already noticed, the kiosk podium is already outside in front of Sue. Excuse me. It has the form up on there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's basically 5 questions you have to fill out. Your number. Please make sure you're putting in your apartment numbers or your villa numbers. I don't know the area extremely well yet. I will get there, but it is very helpful for me to know where you're located. And it gives an option for you to be able to include what the technical issue is. That is sent off to us. Sorry. There is a ticket created right away. I do end up getting an email. I have not had the opportunity yet to start replying directly to them. I'm a little overwhelmed with the amount of tickets that come in, but I am getting to the point where I'm down to about a 24 to 48 hour time period to get 95% of them done. I do realize some of them done a little bit longer, but I'm trying to keep that window down to 48 hours max. If there's a critical issue, obviously you can speak to Sandy or you can speak to Sue. Either one of them can actually enter in through this kiosk, or they have other alternative ways of getting a hold of me. For time-wise, right now I'm scheduled for the Tuesday and Thursday between 12:30 and 3:30. And come on up, give me any of your questions, any of your suggestions. If you guys have specific related questions to say Android devices, Google devices, please bring them to me. I might not be able to answer them right away, but I'll look them up and I'll get back to you with a solution, or at least an answer. Yes?
Is that kiosk only in front of Sue's desk, or is it Sue and Sandy's?
Only in front of Sue's.
Only in front of Sue's?
Yes. You will see there is no pamphlet there. I put in some color printouts. There will be proper postcard sized infolets that will be added to that. And I believe we're also getting some magnetic postcard sized info pamphlets that you can take home and put on your fridge or somewhere else you can stick it up.
So he will be at that desk with Sue on Tuesdays and Thursdays between 12 and 3:30?
Yeah.
12 and 3:30, so if you have questions, you can walk up to him directly and ask him.
Would you be kind enough to open up that email so you can post that picture? 12:30 to 3:30, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Yes, bring them up and we'll do what I can.
Yeah, so if you have a phone or something that you want to bring up, we can bring it up right away. Don't bring your printer.
Definitely walk up to the actual, sorry, she's asking if there's a hardware issue that you can't actually bring up to me and show me physically. Please enter a ticket into the ticketing system and I will come by and take a peek.
Yeah, don't unhook your computer and
No.
turn it on.
I don't think the walker is rated for that much weight. Oh.
I apologize, Javier's gonna finish. I have an emergency over at the Oaks, so.
The messaging, how to get through. So you guys had actually asked, or it was brought up about Blackboard information. This is a service that actually gets information directly sent to you on your cell phones or via email. I've been working with Lenny, and I've been working a little with Stan as well, trying to get this list cleaned up. A lot of you coming back to me saying, I used to get the messages all the time and now I don't. And I think you've actually mistakenly opted out of receiving these messages. So basically what you've done is you've told your carrier and your cell phone, hey, if I'm getting a message from this number, do not give it to me. There's a way to get that fixed, and unfortunately I was going to try and put it up here, but I don't have a slide for it.
Did anybody in here get the message yesterday about the power? So when he sends out that message, we get a report back, and on that report, it tells us how many percentage of people have actually received it and how many have opted out. Several have opted out, but we've got it up to about 88% now.
Yes, we're getting there. Still about 134 numbers that are getting rejected. And again, I'm trying to get through those, but if you feel you should be on that list, there's a very easy way for you to be able to get added back in. And basically all you need to do is when you're creating a new text message, the number is...
Actually, if you did not receive that message, I'll stay right here when you're done with this. If you want, I can actually show you on your phone. It's very simple to get back to. So the best thing to do is if you've got time and you wanna do it, we can do that right now.
I know a lot of people here do not text or email. Do you have an alternate way of getting information to people?
So there is a third method, but it's not as reliable. It's a hit and miss, and it is a text to voice, which basically calls yourself or whatever number you designate, and it'll be a robotic voice that'll actually try and transcribe what I have actually put in text-wise.
Is that, you do that now or in the future?
It is there, but again, it's a technology that's a hit and miss because it cannot recognize whether or not somebody's answered personally or if it's going to somebody's voicemail. So the most reliable is via email or SMS, which is a text on a cell phone.
And the goal is at the end of it, because it comes from the same number, so if you actually get that number, you could store it in your phone as a contact, saying this is Village on the Green Blackboard messages, so when it comes up, it doesn't look like spam, it comes up under your contacts, so you'll know right away. That's the best way to do it. It's gonna take some time to get everybody implemented to that, but it's a possibility.
Anybody else?
Can you just repeat the phone number that would have come in on? I think I might have deleted yesterday's message.
53291?
53291.
Yeah, 53291. Sorry.
No area code, no.
No, so and that's the reason why I think a lot of people actually opted out of it right away. It appears to be a spam message from somebody because it's not a legitimate 10-digit phone number. It's just a 5-digit number that comes up.
And then you have a dash in it also, 532-91.
Some instances it does. I believe on Androids it does. On Apples it doesn't. It's just one straight 53291.
But it is the quickest way for us to get a message to you, and it's efficient if everybody actually has it on their phone or email. Sometimes you get both.
Yeah, so we do try to send out to both SMS and the email. A lot of issues though we're having is that when people originally signed up for it as well, they put down their actual landline number or their home number instead of a cell number, which it's trying to send the information there, but it's not getting it because obviously it can't be answered.
So I'm gonna stay here, so if anybody wants to, we'll take care of it.
Okay, last but not least, I think there's wisdom that when we have new directors, as part of Village on the Green, meeting them, hearing a little bit about their background. So without further ado, Amy is here, the Director of Lifestyles, if she wants to come up. She's shy. But she's gonna introduce herself. You put a face to the name, give a little bit of her background, and then if Becky would be so kind to maybe give a little bit of her history as well, just so you feel like you're more familiar. Amy?
I've met a lot of you. I see a lot of familiar faces. Hi. I know I've been through this 1,000 times, so I'll tell you real quick again. I have been in activities for a very long time. I had my first job in activities in 1989. I became a director pretty quick. I have worked for the Arbors, Watermark, Benchmark, and now I'm blessed to be here with LifeSpace and Village on the Green. I believe in listening to the residents. That is my thing. I want to know what you want to do. I can't tell you what you want to do. You need to tell me. So that's why we're going to have a nice meeting on Monday at 2 o'clock in this very room following the Butterfly Lady. So I can speak with you directly and talk about what you want and what you need from your program. So if you have time, I would love it if you could stop by. If you can't, please come by my office or attend the lifestyle meeting. If we don't get a good turnout on Monday, I'll schedule another meeting because I really need to know what you all want. This is all about you. So some thoughts I had and some ideas that you may like and some you may not. I was thinking about a community arts and crafts show or a bazaar of some sort. A big hit in my last community was utilizing ChatGPT to its fullest potential for you. There's a lot of things it can do to make your daily life easier that we may not know. So I was going to present that. We need to go on trips. We live in the vacation capital of the USA. Millions of people flock here. They are all over the roads driving poorly. So we know they're here. why don't we join them? Let's do some things together. We could take a cruise. We could go to Universal and see Epic Universe. I would like to do that. A bioluminescent kayaking tour. Let's go to a music festival. We can try it. We'll bring water, right? We'll be okay. Not Rockville, because that was 150 degrees. We could take some new classes, how it's made, DIY workshops on woodworking, jewelry making, functional and artistic pieces, inter-community sports groups. Those were a big hit down in Champions Gate. We can find other communities in the area and we can go beat them at different things. We can beat them at Wii, we can beat them at Xbox, we can beat them at badminton, swimming, you name it, whatever you want to do, we're going to win. We can participate in video game tournaments, they're so fun. Graffiti art or street art workshops, we'll bring in somebody that I know and he will show us how to do that. The paintings are gorgeous and very different. We can do a digital storytelling class. That was another big hit. Not everybody likes to write, but a lot of people have great pictures that they would like to upload and maybe leave a legacy project. I've done that for my kids. I've created a whole digital history of my life for them, and all they have to do is click on it and they can see me as a baby. It was not pretty. They can see me as a teenager. It was less pretty than that. And they can see me now and know the things that mattered to me, the things I've accomplished that were meaningful to me, and they have that all in one little video. If by chance you do like to write, we can do that in memoir as well. I have taught that class, and that is, again, a beautiful legacy project. We're not done yet, don't get me wrong. We're all still very vital and viable, but it's nice to do those projects while you have a clear head and a lot of time. So I was thinking I would add some of those things to the calendar, and of course, whatever you want to do, because that's why I'm here. I'm here to listen to you, and I'm here to give you what you want. So thank you for welcoming me. It's been so nice meeting you all. Come by anytime, and I'm excited to be with you.
One last thing about the Blackboard and the messaging, it is only a one-way communication device. It only sends info to you, you don't send info back. So don't sit there and try and reply, saying, what number do I call, or what, can I get more information? It's just one-way communication. It's delivered to you, you cannot respond to it, all right?
Hi guys, my name is Becca. I probably have not met all of you guys. This is my second week, so please bear with me if you have lots of questions. The infamous Javier is going to help me along. I'm not as fun as Amy, but I have been in senior living for about 10 years now. I've done various different things from business office, I've done sales, and now I'm back in the finance side of things. I love working with seniors and doing all of the different things. So if you guys have any questions or want to know anything more, please just let me know.